Hi, my name is Liam, and in the past few months I used AI voice recordings to help construction companies write their quotes within a matter of minutes. I believe that the technology of using voice recordings and then processing them in a very specific way with AI shouldn't just be confined to quote writing, which is why I want to show you guys how I did it and the specific steps behind getting a voice recording all the way to an extremely detailed and long document. Step number one, I've already shown this in a previous video, but this is a breakdown of how we get the AI to understand which framework to give the output. This is what I mean. Say we have this voice recording, right? I have a room, 15 square meters, old parquet floor, and we'll replace it with a new parquet floor, but we're actually just going to lay it on top of the old floor, and the new floor should have the color chestnut. Also, in the other rooms which have these dimensions, we will just sand the floor and also stain the floor and replace the stove corners. That's all input you need to create a great quote. Then the AI has a very, very detailed knowledge base. This is step two. Make a knowledge base which is structured into scenarios. A scenario in this case is something with a trigger. For example, the AI would hear, old floor remains, new floor is screwed onto the old floor. That means we need texts for these 5 steps. And those steps are then inserted into the new structure. It also looks for the second half, which was sanding the floor. It looks at this block, which got triggered, and then you look also at the second part of the logic is the symbols in front of it. We have stars, which are fixed positions, which don't need to be mentioned. They always get included. And then we have the wavy lines, which are only included if mentioned, like staining the floor and replacing stove corners. All of this info gets compiled into a new list, which is then sent off to the second GPT or second AI assistant, which will write the individual text blocks for each headline. What does this look like in the background? We use Make, and it's the easiest thing just to get started with and connect lots of different apps and AI processes together. This is the automation for a 20-page apartment renovation document. So the voice recordings get sent here into the first row, and each one of these rows addresses a different part of the document. You see, you can't just generate the whole document with one GPT. ChatGPT maybe gives you like an A4, maybe 2 A4 documents in one generation if you're lucky. So you have to divide it down into smaller steps. In this case, this row handles everything to do with demolition. This one looks for painting, this one for flooring, this one for windows. This whole section over here is for the bathroom remodel. And if you break things down into smaller steps, it's way easier to have more control over each individual step. Plus also, this is actually an older version, but you can run all of these lines parallel. So instead of having to wait for this to be completed, to then go to this, to then go down to this, you can actually trigger all of them at the same time. So instead of having to wait 15 minutes to reach the end here, you can have each one trigger simultaneously so that it only takes 2 minutes to generate a 20-page document. The 3 steps we have on each for each part of the document. So for example, here you can see back to flooring, right? Flooring, we first of all have the first step, which creates this structure here. That's actually the intelligence step, the one that selects what needs to be in the new document. That then gets sent to the second one here, which then generates the individual texts. And then the third one is responsible for formatting that into, for example, HTML code. Because one issue we ran into was that if you try to generate the text, which is already very long, and add all the HTML code around it, it was just going to shorten it again. So once again, add a new step, and in the last step, it transfers it to a specific code like HTML, which can be used to format things into a nice table. You can pop it in an Excel or a Word document, or even integrate straight into your CRM. And if you go through these 3 steps for each section of a big document, and then connect those steps up into a big workflow, you can achieve any outcome you want because you just have so much control over each individual step of the document. That is the underlying system, the concept that we use to generate very detailed and very big documents for construction companies in this case. But as I said, it shouldn't just be limited to quotes. I'd love to hear what you come up with, and I'm sure that you have a very cool industry or a very unique use case for this specific solution. Because once again, any industry that can benefit from just sending a voice message and then transforming that into a very specific output, that's your solution. So if that helped at all, let me know. If you're a business owner and want something like this built for your business, definitely shoot me a comment or send me a message. And if you guys have any other questions, maybe you want to know the individual prompts that I sent into these GPTs, or want to know how to create the specific knowledge bases for each one of these assistants, let me know and I can make another video recording all of those things. I hope you have a great day.